More than 2.6 million eligible voters will go to the polls at the coming general election. But who are they made up of? Well, for starters, they're pretty much split down the middle in terms of gender. So let's zoom in on how old they are. Working with the 2019 population numbers, we've grouped the electorate by age in 5-year blocks. At one end of the chart, about 230,000 people fall within the 20 to 24 age range. First-time voters will count among them. But the largest group by far is made up of those aged 55 to 59. And throw in the second and third largest groups, and about 1 in 3 voters is aged between 50 and 64. We spoke to an analyst on what this could mean for campaign messaging.
They will be looking at stability for their family, first and foremost, and also for themselves, particularly later on when they are entering retirement. They will be concerned about their health care. They'll be, of course, be concerned about their children and their children's children as well. So they'll be looking at all of these issues, including where they live as well, their estate, their flats, the maintenance of their constituency. Also of concern to the demographic, of course, is whether they have enough money for their retirement and how they would be able to balance between the money that they can withdraw from the CPF and when they can able to do so. I think for the younger voters, I think number one is, of course, job security. Number two is, of course, having a roof over their heads, having somewhere where they can live, having an investment, a house which they can call their own. And of course, for the younger group, they will also be looking at more intellectual debates, a more liberalization of the political scene in Singapore. Perhaps may have more diverse voices in parliament.
Let's turn to the issue of vote swing. We'll be assessing wards whose electoral boundaries were untouched between 2011 and 2015, and they're mostly made up of single-member constituencies. The closer the shade veers to dark blue in 2015, the poorer the party performed compared to the previous elections, and the closer it is to deep red, the better it did. So, for the People's Action Party, its standing improved in most of these wards. The deepest red area here is Potong Pasir, and that's a former opposition stronghold. Votes swung to the PAP by more than 16 percentage points compared to when Sito Yipin first took the ward from opposition veteran Chiam See Tong in 2011. Now, from the opposition's perspective, they lost ground across the board as voters gave the ruling party a solid mandate in 2015. But let's focus on a ward that's seen a bit more variation than others. When the Punggol East ward was introduced in 2011, the PAP's Michael Palmer won the seat against the Workers' Party's Lee Li Lian with about 54% of the vote. But Mr. Palmer resigned about a year and a half into his term, triggering a by-election in 2013. Ms. Lee returned to win the seat in a four-cornered fight that also involved the PAP's Ko Poo Kun, Reform Party Chief Kenneth Jayajaratnam, and Singapore Democratic Alliance Chairman Desmond Lim. At the 2015 general election, Punggol East returned to the PAP after Mr. Charles Chong edged out Ms. Lee. And the single ward was absorbed into the newly formed Sengkang GRC ahead of the coming general elections.
The dynamics have changed in the sense that now it is running as a GRC rather than as an SMC. In the coming election, I think there will still be a very close fight because of the demographic makeup of that particular constituency. But if you see within the broader dynamics of the Sengkang GRC, then we also have to look at how the incumbent, the PAP, have done in the other constituencies that are making up Sengkang GRC. Those are actually very strongholds of the PAP. But certainly it's a constituency that Workers' Party have indicated that they would contest in, and they'll certainly be looking at the Punggol East constituency that's within Sengkang GRC as the base by which they would try and expand their support within the Sengkang GRC and come up with a winnable strategy where possible.